your personal and financial growth. Here, we speak the raw truth, no fluff. For people who want to break the negative cycle and build a solid future, remember, the path of self-awareness and mental freedom isn't easy, but it's the only one worth walking. You've already taken the first step by being here, but to keep moving forward, it's crucial to stay connected to information that truly makes a difference. Subscribing is the simplest way to ensure that. Let me tell you something most people don't talk about. The human mind is a complex machine, but most people live on autopilot. That makes you vulnerable to repeating patterns that only drag you down. It's like driving a car with your eyes closed. You might get somewhere, but you'll never really know where you're going. And here's the secret. Awareness is the key to taking the wheel of your life. When you learn to recognize what's hidden in your unconscious, you begin to change the script. You begin to understand why you act a certain way, why you feel fear or insecurity, and how to break those cycles. In the next segment, I'll show you the practical steps to make this shift happen effectively. But before that, take a second to reflect. What area of your life suffers the most because of unconscious influence? Finances, relationships, career? Drop it in the comments. I want to know what's most urgent for you. Now that you understand the importance of bringing what's hidden in your mind to the surface, it's time to take action. The next step is to take control and turn those patterns into allies, not enemies. It is not enough to just know what is holding you back. You need to apply techniques that strengthen your awareness and reprogram your mind for success. One of those techniques is the daily practice of set aside a moment each day to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. That helps you identify triggers and patterns you didn't even know existed and opens the door to more conscious choices. Over time, you'll notice that your decisions become clearer and more confident. Also, it's essential to create an environment that supports this change. That means surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, content that motivates you, and habits that strengthen your mind. External influence is powerful, and choosing wisely what enters your mental radar makes a huge difference in your journey. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button right now. That helps me keep bringing you relevant content and shows that you're committed to your growth. Enjoyed it? Then click the button below. Before we wrap up, I want to ask one last thing. If you watched until the end, comment the phrase, "I'm taking control of my mind." When I see your comment, I'll leave a heart, because I know your change has already begun and you're on the right path to a life of freedom and purpose. Thanks for being here with me. Let's walk this path of self-knowledge and inner power together. Because if you are, in the rest of this video I'll show you how unconscious thoughts sabotage your decisions and how you can break free from this cycle. But first, have you ever stopped to think how many times you repeat the same mistakes, even when you know you should do things differently? That happens because the unconscious is a powerful force, operating without you noticing. It holds memories, traumas, and old patterns that influence your choices today. And the hardest part, these influences are often so well hidden that you don't even realize they're guiding you. Once you understand that, you start seeing your life through new eyes. You stop being a hostage to what seemed like fate and become a conscious observer of your own mind. That's when real transformation begins. You start identifying which repressed emotions are behind that self-destructive behavior, or what's stopping you from taking the next step. And you know what's interesting? You're not alone in this. Everyone carries their shadows. Even the greatest leaders, geniuses, and influencers had to face their own inner demons to get where they are. The difference is, they learn to recognize and integrate these hidden parts of the mind. That's not luck. That's emotional intelligence applied to real life. Now, I want you to do something. Comment below with one word that represents the biggest mental challenge you are facing today. It could be fear, procrastination, anxiety, anger, whatever comes to mind right now. I'll read every comment, and when I see yours, I'll leave a like to let you know that recognizing this challenge is already a huge step. This act of putting yourself out there, even virtually, is a way to bring light to your shadows. And that's what separates those who live consciously from those who stay on autopilot. Recognizing what's hidden is the first step to no longer being controlled by it. In the next parts, I'll break down techniques and actions you can take to start mastering your unconscious. We'll talk about how to identify triggers, reprogram thoughts, and use psychology in your favor to build positive patterns that push you forward instead of holding you back. But before that, remember, Don't wait for someone else to do this for you. Becoming conscious is a personal process, and it takes courage. But if you're still watching, it means you already have the drive for this change. So stick with me. If you're enjoying this content and want to keep learning how to uncover the mysteries of your mind to transform your life, take a second and subscribe to the channel right now. That way, you won't miss any videos that could be decisive. 4. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a cycle that keeps repeating, no matter how hard you try to change? Like something invisible is pulling the strings of your life, and you don't even notice. That's right. Carl Jung had a name for this. The unconscious, and he believed that if you don't bring to light what's hidden inside you, that something will control your life, and you'll call it fate. But what if your fate isn't a straight path, but a pattern that repeats itself? What if that failed relationship, that fear of growing, that self-sabotage when it's time to change your life, aren't just coincidences? Jung would say, none of that is random. He saw the human mind as a battlefield between light and shadow. And most of us live in the shadows without even realizing it. The shadow, according to Jung, is everything you hide, not just from others, but especially from yourself. Your unresolved anger, your fears disguised as sarcasm, your bruised ego pretending everything's fine. And when you don't look at it, the shadow grows, and the bigger it gets, the more it drives your life from behind the wheel. You sabotage yourself without knowing why. You keep choosing the same type of partner, even when you know it'll go wrong. You run away from opportunities because deep down, you don't believe you deserve them. And then you look at everything and say, maybe it wasn't meant to be, but it was. You just let the unconscious autopilot take over. Jung didn't see the unconscious as an enemy, but as a survival mechanism. The problem is, when you ignore this mechanism, it stops protecting you and starts controlling you. That's why he said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. True freedom isn't doing whatever you want. It's understanding why you do what you do. Because until you understand that, it doesn't matter how many books you read, how many courses you take, or how many videos like this you watch. Your pattern will keep repeating, and it'll feel like life is against you, when really, it's your mind in conflict. Jung believed every man has a mission, to truly know himself, not just what he shows the world. Because it's in the inner darkness where the monsters live, but also the answers you're looking for. And it's only when you face that darkness head-on that you begin to live with intention, instead of just reacting. He called this process individuation, the path of becoming who you really are. But that path is lonely. It's hard, because it demands that you stop blaming fate and start taking control of your mind. Are you ready for that?